What is going on, Bucs fans? We're back here again for another edition of the Pirate Parlay podcast here on the Sick Podcast Network. I'm your host, as always, JC Allen. We've got a great show for you. If you saw earlier on X, you saw the little teaser. That's right. We've got Tykee Smith in the building. Bucs rookie, third-round draft pick, defensive back, plays a little safety, plays a little nickel. He's a versatile guy. We'll get into his versatility and what we can expect for him on this Buccaneers defense this season. So hold on. We'll be right back. We'll get into it.
Turn up your volume. Because you're about to listen to the Sick Podcast. Pirate Parlay.
Battle intercepted, picked off in the end zone. Bucs are going to beat the Chiefs. We're the champions of the world.
The sickest Tampa Bay Buccaneers podcast. It's going to be sick.
We are back here again on the Sick Podcast. Now, guys, I mentioned and we'll start talking to him and get him going in here right now. So without further ado, let's bring him in. Tykee Smith. Tykee, my man, how we doing?
I'm doing good. Can't complain. How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Just, grind. As you know, we're in the dog days of summer here with the OTAs and into minicamp and all that stuff. So how has OTAs been going for you so far?
I think OTA has been going real well. Just getting the opportunity to go out there every day. Kind of learn from the guys that have been doing it for a long time. So really excited for the opportunity to get to go out there every day.
When you look at this defense, it's not the easiest to learn. There's a lot of things that Todd Bowles likes to do, intricacies in the defense. What has been that like kind of, getting into the defense, getting into the playbook?
Similar to something I'm coming from in college, running a similar defense, just different terminology. So I think it was definitely a plug and play type thing. So I kind of picked up on all the install that we got in so far. It's pretty fast and being able to go out there and execute it.
As far as some of like the things that you like about it, what are some of the things that you like most about his playbook?
Like I said, it's coming from something that I ran in college, so it allowed me to show different versatility and just be around the ball and make plays.
Yeah, and that's something that you've been doing quite regularly already. I think the first couple of days of rookie minicamp, you had an interception. Day one of mandatory minicamp, I saw you flying, screaming in the backfield for what would be sack. We call those because there's no pads on anything. So just kind of talk about your playmaking and your ability. What allows you to play so proactively and instinctually?
I think my preparation. Like I said, just me being able to go out there and learn to install super fast as soon as we put it in. And then, like I said, being able to go out there on the field and execute it, and then playing around those guys that's also that I'm also getting a chance to learn from, such as on the back end, such as Jordan Whitehead, Antoine Winfield, just getting an opportunity to learn from them. I think that's been helping me over these last couple of weeks also.
And specifically those guys, what's something that you've kind of taken away from them that when you're in the building, in the meeting rooms, that you're like picking their brain, and what's some of the things that you're like, okay, I've got this, I'm going to apply this to either my study habits, my game overall. What's been some of those things?
Just asking questions in meetings, not thinking you know all the answers, but still, like, even they've been in the league for years plus now, and they still ask questions in the meeting. So that's the biggest thing I'm taking away from them right now. And then just how to practice like a pro.
And then you've also got, on that team, your head coach. Obviously, we talked about this earlier, but former safety in his own right. How involved is he in that room? And I know it's probably early right now in the early stages,
Right.
but is he in that room a lot? I know he's got the open door policy. Do you check in with him and kind of what's that relationship been like?
So he right now, it being minicamp, he's been in and out. I think as we come back for actual camp, I think he'd be more like hands-on and more full-time in the room. But right now, he just been letting us kind of like just doing the installs and then letting us go out there and execute and seeing who could execute and see who could think on the fly. So But once he get like fully hands on and being in the room, really looking for the opportunity to learn from him and get some knowledge from him.
You also got a longtime safety coach in there, Nick Rapone. I know he's a dog and he rides you guys. He's challenging Antoine Winfield to make 6-7 interceptions a game, let alone a season. So what's it been like to have someone with such a vast knowledge? And obviously you've seen the guys in Antoine Winfield Jr., Jordan Whitehead, the guys he's had a hand in helping develop, become the stars they are today. Obviously it's on you guys to put the talent, but just the teachings and everything he's given. What's it been like to have him in the building as kind of like a mentor for you to learn from and grow from?
Like you said, I think his resume speaks for itself. Like for the guys that he had when he was here and at his previous spots before he got to Tampa Bay, such as like Tyrann Matthews, Buda Baker, like all them guys. So and then of course with the safeties he did here. So like I said, just being able to get a chance to learn under him, and then his resume speaks for itself.
And then kind of as you transition from the off-season underwear, testing and 40 times and all this stuff into more fall, what's been kind of like the biggest adjustment for you so far into transitioning back? Obviously, last year at this time, you were probably doing spring ball and you're in pads and you're having your spring games and stuff like that a couple months back. So what's been the biggest adjustment coming into the NFL since you've been drafted?
The biggest adjustment, I think, just getting around a new group of guys and learning a different group of guys and learning the different styles of play and how this new group of guys that I'm around play. Because like you said, I was at Georgia last year, so I've been there the previous 2 years. So I kind of knew who I was going to be out there with, who played like what was such and such strengths, and then kind of knew the system in and out and knew like why we would call certain stuff on depending on who we playing. So just trying to get back to that level here. So I think that was the biggest.
Yeah, communication's so big in the secondary. So trying to get to know those guys and kind of know what they like in certain scenarios and what, that you expect them to do, what they expect you to do is definitely something that I think is an emphasis right now as you're building throughout the offseason. What's that been like having those guys, not just Jordan and obviously Antoine Winfield in your room, Christian as well, but, the guys at cornerback that you're communicating with Jamel and Zion and some of the Bryce and Javier, some of those guys as well?
Been going real well so far. The biggest thing is just making sure we all on the same page. So we're not giving up no explosives on the back end. So that's the main thing, just making sure we all on the same page. Even if we all wrong, we all right.
And then when you kind of look at what you're kind of cross training, right? So you're playing a little nickel, you're playing a little safety. I think I've seen you a little bit more in the slot, but you do have that ability to obviously drop back in coverage. So what goes into the mindset, the difference mindset between playing that slot cornerback, that box safety, and then that center field safety position?
Just being able to help the team best way as possible. And then, at this level, only a select few number of guys get to travel on the back end. So the more versatile you is, I think that also help with who dress on game day. So trying to put my best foot forward every day and then show I could be an asset on different and different positions, so different versatility.
Just as you're coming into the Buccaneers and everything like that, what's kind of been some of your first impressions of the facility, of the team, of the coaches? What's that been like so far for you?
Kind of felt like this was the spot for me once I came on my 30 visit. So like I said, had a formal with them at the combine before. Then had a 30 visit a week before the draft, and I felt like that was the place for me. And then ain't really been no big impression. I think everybody was still the same people from when I came on my 30 visit. So really enjoyed that about the coaching staff and them being player coaches. So really thankful for that. Like I said, just thankful for the opportunity that the Bucs was able to draft me. Was the spot I wanted to land at.
But you obviously have a connection too with Todd Bowles. With his, well, have you guys got a chance to link now that he's kind of off? Or
no, he had. So you had at Georgia's a little different. So Howard Drainer is a little different. But that conversation for another day. So when I first got down here, he was down here, but we was in rookie mini camp. So I was super busy, so I didn't get to see Troy when he was out here.
Gotcha. I'm sure you guys will find time here coming up. You got a little bit of time off here, for sure. So what are some of the things that you're trying to hone in, kind of technique wise? Maybe obviously not perfect because there's always room for growth, but that you're really kind of concentrating while you're trying to learn this system and get ready for the season? What are some of those things where you're like, okay, I need to work on this, and this, and then I'll be, where I want to be?
I think me just working on like timing up my blitzes or holding them on the skies at this level. You make one flinch, quarterback might check something or might be able to slide a protector too. So I think me just holding in on my blitzes and timing up my blitzes right.
What are some of the goals you have this season?
To be the best version of myself. Not really a guy that set goals. Is, like I said, just want to go out there every day and be able to put my best foot forward. And then as the games go, that'll come along. You feel me?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, that's the best thing. If you can, put the best version of yourself, the most prepared version of yourself on the field,
sure.
Good things will come. One thing I like about you, you go back and you watch your tape, you're a physical run defender, man. Like, you are not afraid to get your nose dirty in the ball, coming down into the box and run support. But obviously we haven't seen that yet with pads not coming on. But what do you attribute your toughness to?
I think where I'm from, me growing up in Philadelphia, I think that's where majority of toughness come from. And then the practice at Georgia, I think the way we practice, you had to practice with a tough physical mentality.
And you got the Philadelphia Eagles on the docket this season. Is that that's
yeah,
got to be a fun game for you?
Yeah, for sure. So I know Eric, my whole family been talking about that.
As far as the Bucs talked about kind of like they want guys who are winners. They want guys who have that character, that I am him mentality, that guy who puts the work in, who loves football. It's a passion, high character guys, leader guys. You won 2 national championships, and
right.
That's got to be an amazing feeling for you. But I'm going to put you on the spot. Which one of those was your favorite?
I think the 2022 year was my favorite. Bands of the 2021, my season got cut short due to injury, but really enjoyed playing with 2 back-to-back elite teams that's gonna go down as probably 2 of the greatest teams, two of the greatest teams. You feel me? I'm not saying where we'll be ranked at in that greatest team of all time, but we'll go down as that with the 2 seasons we had. Was able to play with a lot of people that 2021 year that got drafted, then also that 2022 year that got drafted. So, but I'm gonna go with the 2022 year, Natty.
Yeah. I mean, you guys had so many players on those 2 teams that have come. Guys who are in the league. Obviously, Javon came in with you this year.
Yeah,
Lucine a couple years ago as well.
Kamari.
So you look at the way you play. You mentioned your toughness, your physicality from Philadelphia. I was going to ask you, who are some of the players you study, maybe model your game or take things away from their game? I have a feeling Brian Dawkins might be one of those guys. But who are some of those guys that you kind of study, whether in the past, currently playing, that you kind of try to add pieces of their game to your game?
Right. So growing up, definitely was a big Ed Reed fan, and then as I got older, became a big Tyrann Matthews fan. Like the Buda Baker, like the Antoine Winfield, like the smaller safeties, but play bigger than what they measure in it. You feel me? Or I think they do a real good job of preparation and always in the right position at the right time.
You got some connections to Ed Reed too, if I'm not mistaken, right?
No.
Okay. Who are you closest to on the team now? Like, out of the rookies, veterans, who have you kind of bonded with?
Out of the rookies, I think I done bond with a couple rookies, and then out of the vets, of course, I talked to Jordan Whitehead and Winfield every day because we in the same room. Really like the corners. Me and KJ Britt, linebacker, kind of connected since like the first time I got there. So been real thankful for him.
Yeah, KJ's great. He's a really humble guy, hard worker too. Want to kind of switch gears a little bit. You talk about your why, which is your daughter. And that was one of the first things when we talked to you. You brought her up and mentioned, how you play the game for her. But how has becoming a father kind of changed the way you play the game?
Just knowing I got somebody at home that I gotta feed, and knowing she watching me, and just knowing I'm doing it bigger. I'm doing it for not just myself. I'm also doing it for her. So like I said, I think made me mature a little bit more faster, put more responsibilities on my plate. Was grateful for that. And like I said, just having her at the games and her being able to experience this moment been a blessing.
Now let's get into some fun things, and then we'll wrap it up and get you out of here. I appreciate your time for sure. Definitely enjoyed having you on. Any quarterback you're looking to pick off?
Any quarterback I'm looking to pick off? No, not in particular. Just really it'd be grateful to get my hand on to have any interception. So
Any
whoever
jersey
wanna throw at
swaps? What was that?
Yeah, definitely looking for some jersey swaps. I don't know how I'm gonna do when we play the Eagles because couple Georgia teammates. I don't know how that's gonna go. But yeah, I'm looking to do a couple jersey swaps. I can't think of who all the back, but I know the Eagles game gonna be kind of tough because there's a lot of former Georgia players there, so I don't got a jersey for everybody. But hopefully I can get all 8 jerseys.
There's so many of them, and you got guys who playing against the Eagles. There's like 12 of them on there as already. So,
Yeah, so I ain't got no jersey for them, but hopefully they can
Yeah.
all send me their jersey.
Not with how much they cost. I think they're like $750 a pop. I know you guys play the Saints, so I'm sure you're trying to maybe get that Tyrann Mathieu jersey off his back.
No, yeah,
What's
for sure.
something Bucs fans might not know about you?
I don't know. Like some might know, but some might I don't know. Like I enjoy playing the game.
Any hidden
Yeah, I enjoy
talents?
playing the, no, I don't. I can't cook,
Juggle or
but
something?
no, I'm a guy that listen to Rod Wave heavy, like the singer
Okay.
Rod Wave.
All right. If you cannot play safety, what other or nickelback? I'm throwing that in there. What position would you play?
I think I'd be a good slot receiver.
Okay. You gotta get a Bowles. Once you get a year in, you gotta get on Bowles. Like, hey, put me in goal line package.
Yeah,
Get in there.
no doubt.
Speaking of receivers, slot receivers and guys you've been covering, Jalen McMillan, full of rookie, Chris Godwin. Also, in that sense, Kate Otten too, tight ends who you've got to cover sometimes. What has it been like going up against those guys, and what kind of challenges have they presented for you?
I think all those guys play different from Chris to Jalen. 2 different type players, so you got to kind of know what to expect out of them certain players. I think Chris got a better feel for the game because he's more of a veteran, so he's been doing this for a long time. So being able to go against him for like the last month, I think been helping me get better. And then just competing against Jalen been real tough battles. And then I still trash talk to him about like how if we would have played Washington or something, how we'd have beat them or blew them out.
There's a lot of trash talking going on that field. I can hear it. I can hear the chirping from over on the side. Baker, he's a big trash talker. Has he directed any of that your way yet?
No, he ain't directing none of that my way, but I know KJ Britt kind of he know how to get the offense fired up. Like KJ, yeah.
KJ definitely seems like the guy who kind of would try to get under his skin. So when you're not playing football in the off season, is there any, I know you love to spend time with your daughter, but is there anything that you have any hobbies, interests that you're into?
Just playing the game. So I know this all season, after this season, I will hopefully like to learn how to fish because I've never been fishing before. So I'd like to try that. And then really just travel. Like, so this would be my first, after the season, be a good, like all season, I'll have some time to be able to travel.
So you have, obviously Tampa's a great spot for fishing, whether that's, off the coast or anything, even in like lakes and rivers and stuff, but also if you go deep sea fishing. I know if you're going to do any of that, you got to hook up with Luke Gedeke. He's the man to talk about fishing. He does all those like offshore excursions and stuff like that. And he's a big fisher. Were you going to any travel?
I'm definitely looking forward to the fishing. Never been fishing before, so.
Any travel plans? Anywhere you're headed special this?
No, not no travel plans right now. I ain't really playing enough. Been real busy I went right in from Combine and Senior Bowl back to Combine stuff, to Pro Day, to right into this. So, been real busy and trying to get everything situated.
Yes.
As far as like me getting my stuff out here. So, been real busy with that kind of stuff right now. So, I ain't got no travel destinations right now.
Yeah, plan on sticking around in Tampa during that stretch?
Yeah, no doubt. Definitely plan on sticking around, kind of working out here to get used to that heat.
Definitely. Like I said, I got all the spots you need, like food places or whatnot, things to do. I don't know if you like, there's a couple places like Lettuce Lake Park They got like a boardwalk. You can usually see like gators and stuff like that. That's kind of fun if you haven't seen a gator out in the wild yet. There's a bunch of little different things. Hit me up. I'll send you this, some of those informations. Next thing I'm going to do is called This or That, and then we're going to jump into favorites. Pretty much I'm going to ask you a question. It's going to be rapid fire. Sometimes there's a follow-up. Then after that, we'll get you on out of here. So this or that, Xbox or PlayStation?
PlayStation.
All right, what game you playing right now? I know you said you like to play the game.
I'm a heavy 2K guy, but I'm a heavy 2K like my player type person, where you make your own like basketball player and be able to play at the park with them. So,
you play with Trey at all yet?
No, I ain't play with Trey, so I ain't got my game down here yet, cause like we ain't got no crib yet, so like the Wi-Fi, the hotel be real bad. You feel me?
Right, yeah, that's the Wi-Fi is no good. Yeah, definitely. I know Trey's probably on right now. Trey streams like every single day. He's on that 2K. He's just grinding away on his My Player. He's got his own whole team and everything that he made. Are you like I know you grew up in Philly, played in West Virginia. Are you more of a beach guy or a mountains guy?
I would prefer the beach over the cold.
Okay. Marvel or DC?
Marvel.
Who's your favorite hero?
I'm more of a Superman type guy.
Superman? Okay.
Yeah.
City or country?
City.
Yeah, of course. Hustle and bustle, you know. I want to drive 30 minutes to go get something. You a car guy or a truck guy?
Car.
Were you whipping anything good?
No, I ain't get no car yet, but I got my car from college right now, so I was driving a Charger.
Yeah, save that money. Movie or TV series?
Really depends on that, but I'm gonna go movie.
What's your favorite movie?
Really like that new Bad Boys that just came out.
What have you watched anything good recently that you're like, wow, this was good? Y'all should go watch it.
If you ain't seen that new Bad Boys, go watch that new Bad Boys.
Okay, yeah. I'm getting ready to see that one. What's your favorite Bad Boys?
My favorite Bad Boys would probably be the first one.
Okay, first one's good. I like 2 a lot too. I thought 2 was hilarious. They had some really good. I think they leaned a little bit more into the comedy. That whole prom scene right there when he's coming to pick her up for a date and he's pretending to be out of jail. I die laughing every time. I've got a daughter. I'm definitely recreating that. That was a great scene there. Favorite music artist?
Favorite. I'm a big Rod Wave guy.
Okay, that's a good one. Favorite sports team growing up?
I was a big Eagles fan because before I went to college, I never knew nothing outside of Philly but Philly.
Favorite place you've ever visited?
Favorite place I ever visited? Jamaica.
Jamaica's great. Where'd you go? Ochi, Montego?
I was in Montego Bay.
Montego Bay is awesome. We went there for my delayed honeymoon. Me and my wife, we got married. She was pregnant, so we didn't want to go then. You can't enjoy it then. So we went. It's so much fun. Every time the planes flew by, we were at the bar. I'd be like, the plane. Everyone would do shots. It was wild. Definitely look forward to going back there. Favorite food?
Favorite food? I'm more of a pasta guy. So like I'm like having like Alfredo and all that.
Okay. I got the spot for you. I'll message it to you after this. It's just like these guys are straight from like Italy, Sicily area. You know, you can hear them arguing in Italian in the back kitchen, you know, and every week they have like an Italian musician there playing like old school Italian music. It's got some of the best Alfredo I've ever had. I got you on that one. Favorite cereal?
Probably Fruity Pebbles or Frosted Flakes.
Okay, those are 2 good ones. You got to eat those ones fast or else they get too soggy, though. That's my only gripe with those. Favorite game you ever watched?
What you mean game?
Like favorite game you ever watched? It could be like NBA Finals or Super Bowl or like favorite. You're just like, wow, this is the best game I've probably ever seen in my life.
Yeah, that finals. We got to watch LeBron and come back down from 3-1.
The one Ray Allen sinking the 3 that the Mavs won.
No, he's with the Cavs.
Oh, the Warriors came back down from 4-3. Yeah, okay, yeah, that was a good one. Not a big Kyrie fan. I hope they lose tonight. But I'm a Celtics guy, so I got JT in the back there. Who you pulling for?
Then we just did that video. I was pulling for the Mavs. I want to see Kyrie get a chance to win another one with all the stuff that how they be trying to bash him and stuff like that. So really wanted Kyrie
Well,
to get
I hope they get swept. Favorite color?
I'm like my favorite color would be like gray.
Okay. Hey, I mean, pewter gray, kind of close. Favorite TV show?
Favorite TV show? Damn, probably Martin.
Martin's such a popular
Yeah.
answer because it's so damn good. Who did I have on last week? I think I had KJ Britt on. And Trey Palmer was on last week. He said Martin too. It's so good. He's so good. What's that movie? His movie when he's the diamond thief. That was it was one of my favorite movies ever. He's so funny in that. Obviously, Bad Boys is great too. He's just tremendous. What's your favorite sports memory?
I think us winning the national championship.
Absolutely. Favorite dessert?
Favorite dessert? Probably a milkshake.
Yeah, that's always a good one. Favorite season of the year?
Fall.
Yeah, football's back. You know, it's not as fall's not like fall here. Like you'll see, like
it's not as hot. Like,
fall in Tampa is hot.
Yeah.
Favorite player growing up?
You said what?
Favorite player growing up?
Favorite player?
Yeah.
LeBron James.
Okay. I respect LeBron so much. But as a Celtics fan, whether it was the Cleveland Cavs or whether it was Miami, I can't get down with them. I respect them. I respect this game, but I can't get roll with them like that. Favorite game you ever played in?
Favorite game I ever played in? I'm not gonna go with the Natty game this time. Probably one again from this 2023 season. I think I'll say probably Tennessee. I think when we went to Tennessee this past year was real exciting. It was rocking. They scored first play. I'm telling you, it was so loud in there that you couldn't hear the person next to you. But yeah, probably Tennessee this past season.
That's awesome. All right, that's all I got for you, man. I appreciate your time. Definitely looking forward to seeing you this season, seeing this competition, and seeing how Bowles use you so uniquely because of your skill set, man. It feels like he can use you in a variety of ways. Already showing glimpses of being a playmaker, whether that's getting your hands on interceptions or getting in the backfield. I think there's high hopes for you as far as your career here in Tampa. And I'm excited to be along for the ride and get to watch you and cover you. With that being said, thank you so much. Do you want to go ahead and promote yourself? Where can people find you? Via Twitter, Instagram?
Right. So yeah, like I said, also thank you for having me. Really looking forward to the start of the season. And looking forward to giving my best and being able to play every weekend for the Bucs fans. And then also you'll be able to find me on Instagram at Tykee Smith, Tyk Smith on Instagram and Twitter.
Awesome. All right, Tykee, thank you so much, man. Well, I'll see you tomorrow, and keep doing what you're doing out there because it's certainly catching the eye of a lot of people.
No, I appreciate you.
Yes, sir. There you guys have it. Tykee Smith, another Buck on the podcast, another rookie. I think he's going to do great things when you look at him and what he's been able to do. I know you guys don't get to see it yet, but just kind of, in OTAs, mini camp, even going back to rookie mini camp, he's consistently around the ball. He's consistently in the right position to make plays. I haven't seen him out of position too many times. So definitely excited to see what the future holds for him and what he can do going forward for the Bucs. A couple housekeeping things, and then we'll get out of here. Just kind of wanted to give you guys some of my observations from day. I think one of the biggest things that I've noticed and biggest takeaways, obviously Tristan Wirfs is there, not practicing. Randy Gregory's not there, 2 unexcused absences, which is what's going on there. We don't quite know. They're not going to talk on that either. So it could be personal. He does have a lawsuit against the NFL right now. Not sure if that has anything to do with it, but he's trying to recoup about $500,000 in fines. Misses all 3 days unexcused. He incorporates over $100,000 in fines. So seems counteractive if that's the play there. But again, that's all speculation. Not really sure what's going on. Hopefully they'll get that resolved and he'll be there at training camp. But when you look at the offensive line, It's one of the one of the points of interest for a lot of Bucs fans this offseason. Early on, Sue Opita was taking those first team reps at left guard for the last, when you go back to OTAs, day 2 and 3 that we were able to see. I think it was like practice 4 and 8 or something like that. Ben Bredesen has been in that mix right there at left guard, taking teams reps with the first team. The first 2 days of minicamp also there. So I think that speaks to him. I spoke with him today after practice, and I'll have an article out tomorrow over at Bucs Game Day. But he's just kind of talking about, his mental preparation, what brought him to the Tampa Bay area and all those different things. It's going to be, it'll be some really good stuff. But I think when you look at that, it looks like he's going to have the inside track, at least when pads come on in training camp, to be the guy to lock down that left guard spot. They've been really impressed with him. Talking to offensive coordinator Liam Cohen off the side is a name that he mentioned as well. And then if you look at Graham Barton, Robert Hainsey's been getting a majority of the first team reps, but he's been also rotating too with Graham Barton. Graham Barton's been getting a lot of those reps as well. So it's interesting to see they're trying to get Graham up to speed. Obviously, he's a very smart guy, Joker. Joker Mayfield. He's always making jokes and stuff like that. He gets that signature smirk. Talking about him today, he's like, "Yeah, Duke's got a pretty good education, I guess." But yeah, he's picking up quickly, and they're trusting him enough. He's been the guy in red zone the last 2 days, taking those snaps. So one of the most important areas on the field, red zone, right? So it bodes well for him. I think likelihood of him winning that center position come training camp is pretty high. And then they'll have a really good rotation, in case anyone gets injured behind them, with Robert Hainsey and Sue Opita and Elijah Klein and some of these other guys. So those are my big observations on the offensive line. As far as wide receiver, Jalen McMillan has definitely stood out. He's as advertised. I think Bowles kind of said a little bit yesterday when he was talking about him. I'm not sure if it was like a Freudian slip or just kind of the way he phrased it, but it sounds like he's got Jalen as wide receiver 3. He's been taking a lot of reps with that first team. So it'll be interesting to see if he is the guy there. Obviously, Trey Palmer, Raheem Jarrett also competing. Now Sterling Shepard brought in as well. It's going to be interesting to see that battle shake out. Who's going to be that de facto 3? They're going to be rotating that third spot in, especially different looks. Trey Palmer's got that speed to stretch the field. So if they feel like they need the guy out there, they're going to put him out there. So it's certainly going to be interesting to see kind of, how that all shakes out coming into training camp. Cameron Johnson's a guy who's really impressed. Guy from Barton, of all places. He's kind of really impressed. The coaches are impressed with him. Done a little kick return. Small, shifty guy. He's a guy that, I feel like they probably just seeing him, in the injury and obviously the whole, legal situation going on with Devin Tompkins, thought, okay, maybe this guy can make him expendable. He's a sleeper to make the team. Obviously he's got an uphill battle with Shepard and with Raheem Jarrett ahead of him. But definitely a guy who, keep an eye on for a practice squad consideration. So those are kind of like my offensive, takeaways. Baker looks sharp. Payne Durham, definitely seen a growth from him. Baker talked about him today. Liam Cohen, who we'll have on the podcast soon, he talked about him today as well. Cade's just doing Cade things, man. He had an incredible on day 1, Tuesday, one-handed deep down the field, one-handed leaping catch over a defender. It was really good. So continuing to work on his abilities there, receiving and of course blocking as well. Which obviously we need pads to see how that's going to kind of play out, but definitely going to be interesting to see him. On the defensive side, Chris Braswell continues to stand out. Had 2 would-be sacks yesterday, was, in the backfield again today. Vita Vea, another guy continuing to stand out. Had, a sack and probably a sack and a half, if you were going to call it, maybe 2 sacks. We're getting technical there, but, in the backfield, looks slimmer. I think when you look at this front 7, there's a lot to like. Even without a guy like Randy Gregory there's a lot to like that these guys could be extremely disruptive. And of course, you want to get the sacks, but there's no doubt in my mind that they're not going to bring the pressure. A lot of things, and you hate to make excuses and whatnot. There were certainly a lot of plays where the Bucs just didn't finish, but a lot of the time too last season, the teams were getting the ball out of their hands so quick that by the time the Bucs front seven were back there, it was almost like it was too late because, and it's not much they could do when the ball's getting, out of their hands in 2.5 seconds. It's hard to, get through an offensive lineman and get to the quarterback and bring them down in that short period of time. So, but they've added speed, they've added size, they've added strength. And I think it's going to definitely help them. The secondary looks really good, really good. And not just like the starters, but the depth as well. Javier Thomas has shown flashes in that nickel spot. Obviously, Christian Isian continues to work there as well and look good. Bryce Hall's look good on the outside. Obviously, Antoine and Jordan Whitehead are doing their thing. Jordan Whitehead had a great play coming down in the box, just instinctual, knowing where the ball was going and got there for, a tag, tag flag down, whatever you're calling it. Not tackling right now. Had a sack yesterday. There was a fun play today where Jalen McMillan, he kind of tried to put a juke on Antoine Winfield. And Antoine is one of those things you hear from the coaches, right? They're like, Antoine practices like he plays. And this was a play that Jalen McMillan got behind the defense. It looked like a blown coverage assignment or something like that. And instead of just letting, because the guys, the guys make a catch and they get behind someone, they just run to the end zone like, oh, look, I scored. But no, not White Winfield. He treats it like a game, and he chased McMillan all the way down. McMillan tried to put a little move on him, and of course, Winfield tagged. Now Winfield had a good play too on Cephas Johnson down the right sideline. Johnson got behind, caught it. Winfield comes over, says, "Boop." Pop the ball out. Not today. Recovers it. Just the way he practices is so fun to watch. And then obviously, right after practice, he's out on the jugs machine catching, 40, 50 balls before he's even going inside. So, I think the secondary is going to be a lot of fun to watch. And then Levante, just Father Time, he's playing today, something they just installed yesterday on offense. So they haven't seen it. And Levante hasn't really been there that much. He's been there for a couple of OTAs, hasn't practiced, just kind of observing. But something they just installed on offense. Levante, noticed something at the line, dropped back deeper into his coverage than he normally would, comes up, almost makes a diving interception on a ball intended for Chris Godwin. And Levante just makes plays. It's what he does. KJ Britt's been really good too. You just heard Tykee talking a little talk to Baker as well, trying to chirp him, get under his skin. So, I think this Bucs team is headed in a good direction. You guys hear it from me. It's always nice to get that, the local media guys, we're boots in the ground. So, national media doesn't know what the heck they're talking about sometimes. We had Pete Prisco was here on Tuesday for CBS. He's been there for a while, and he kind of, echoed our same sentiments. Like, if you're sleeping on the Bucs or the Falcons or for the Saints, you need to kind of open your eyes a little bit, because this Bucs team is going to make some noise, and they still have a lot of playmakers that they had last year and added to it. So, getting that national outlook over there from guys who actually come here and aren't just looking at the roster and saying, oh, I don't know about that, but watching these guys play, looking at the size of the offensive line, how they bulked up there, looking at the skill position players, look at what they've done in the draft and through free agency and bringing the guys back. Yeah, I think this Bucs team is going to surprise some of these naysayers again. You think they'd learn their lesson after 4 straight NFC South championships, or 3 straight rather, and 4 straight playoff appearances, and almost a trip to a National Football Conference championship. But hey, what can you do? But guys, I want to thank you for popping in here. If you're on Twitter, appreciate you guys tuning in. Hop over to YouTube, hit like, subscribe, hit the little reminder on, that way you get notifications when we do go live. Next week, we'll have someone else. I think we might have Jake Camarda on, next week. So yeah, and then we're going to get Ben Bredesen on. Like I said, we're going to get Todd Bull. We've got a lot of we've got a lot of good guests. Maybe a certain starting wide receiver coming on. So I'm loading up the guests for you guys. I'm excited to bring them some more rookies, and we'll get into some more offseason talk as well too. So definitely bringing the heat. I appreciate you guys. If you enjoyed this, definitely tell some people, because like MK said, for some reason, I don't have many subscribers right now, and I'm consistently bringing you guys player interviews and stuff like that. So tell a friend, get them in here. You guys are missing out. We've got some great stuff, great content coming, and we got some great things in store for the regular season too. Like when I say great things, I mean we have some really cool surprises coming up. So just trying to grow the brand, grow the podcast, grow and get you guys, as always, the best Bucs content you guys can get, whether that's from observations, whether that's from news, whether that's from getting guys on here and hearing from them and their point of view, kind of getting some football stuff in, but getting them to kind of, relax a little bit and open up and kind of get to know them more, right? As more of just the player, but as a person, kind of pulling back that and kind of seeing, okay, where do you relate? Bad Boy. Who doesn't love Bad Boys? Stuff like that, I think is really fun for you guys to kind of be like, get to know some of these guys a little bit more, and their likes and interests and stuff like that. So I'll keep bringing it. If you guys keep coming, I appreciate all of you. Don't forget to give me a follow on Twitter if you're not, or X, whatever we're calling it, at JC Allen NFL. Bucs Cruise. The Bucs Cruise is coming up next year. You're not going to want to miss that. So head over to there. TB Bucs Cruise. Get your tickets now. Cabins are available. It's all inclusive pretty much in your price. Wi-Fi, food, beverages, bevies, and also tips, gratuity. Last year they had like 16 players. Warren Sapp was a surprise, but they had Shad White, Jamel Dean, a bunch of guys. I'm going to be on it this year. I know the guys at PR are going to be on it as well, and even more players. I'm already starting to kind of dabble in some of the booking. We're going to get a lot of some surprises, maybe some big surprises. So definitely go check that out. Bucs Cruise, Tampa Bay Bucs Cruise. You can Google it. You can go to their Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, whatever you're using. Definitely check that out. And hear the Cannons on here soon. About 15 minutes, I'll be over there breaking down minicamp, talking with the fellows over at Sports Illustrated Bucs Game Day, where all my work is. Just put out a piece on Jalen McMillan. I'll have something on Ben Bredesen over there too tomorrow. And then I'll start my training camp series where I break down each position battles, ended up with my 53-man roster prediction, go right into training camp coverage, which is going to be a lot of fun too. Plan on being out there almost every day this year. Last year was only at a handful of days, but plan on being out there a ton this year. So giving you guys the best stuff. Our team over there does a great job. And our team over here does a great job over here at the Sick Podcast Network. They're amazing behind the scenes. You guys don't get to see them. Shout out Shane and my guys, Sammy and all them. They do an amazing job too, behind the scenes. I just I'm the talent, right? I got producers in the back. They do all the other stuff. I just kind of get the guests on and be the talent. It's kind of refreshing. I've had to run my own podcast before, but it's kind of cool. But I'm rambling on. Of course, you guys know that I do that if you're regulars here. But again, thank you guys. Thank you guys. And I'll see you guys next Wednesday, 7 p.m. for another show, another edition of the Pirate Parlay podcast here on the Sick Podcast Network. We're out. Peace.
And that's a wrap. Hope you don't miss us too much until next time. Follow the Sick Podcast Pirate Parlay on YouTube, Facebook, Google Play, and Apple Podcasts.